Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing some predictions for 2015, May 1st, the release for Avengers 2. Okay, so I did a video talking about X-Men Days of Future Past, doing some predictions for that, and realized I haven't done one for the Avengers 2, and there's been a lot of new news coming out around it, changing my thoughts of where the movie is going to go. At one time, most of us thought that Thanos would be the villain for Avengers 2. Then, of course, at Comic-Con, it was announced that the title for Avengers 2 is going to be Age of Ultron. So, of course, with that, we know it's not going to be Thanos. He may have something to do with it, or maybe like a short cameo like he did in the first one. We'll have to see what happens with Guardians of the Galaxy, and maybe we'll see Thanos in the third Avengers movie if we get there, which we probably will, based on how much money the first one made, and the fact that you've got a pretty good team, set for the second one. I think it'll be just as good of a success as the first one, if not even better. So probably Thanos in the Avengers 3. Now, in terms of Ultron as a villain, we do know, or at least it seems to be, that the comic book origin for Ultron is not going to be the origin that we see in the Avengers 2. It seems like with Avengers 2 they want to go with a different direction because Ant-Man is not going to be in the movie. So having said that, we know that Ant-Man can't be responsible for the creation of Ultron. He's going to have to be created some other way. For those of you who are not familiar with Ultron, did a video talking about who he is and, sort of a little bit of a comic book background about him. I'll put the link in the description, so if you guys want to check that out, you can go ahead and see that. Those of you who don't know much about the Avengers villains, especially Ultron, you may find it useful. That being said, in the movie, because Ant-Man can't create him, he's going to have a different origin. So my main prediction for that, which is a popular theory going around on the internet, is that, and most people think is probably legit, and I think makes a lot of sense too, is that the evolution of Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, his AI, Jarvis, if you look at the first, 3 Iron Man movies and the Avengers, Jarvis has evolved as an AI, going from simple things at the beginning to, in the third Iron Man movie, being responsible for controlling all of the armors while Tony is switching, while he's fighting, while he's doing these different types of things, and them basically being in AI mode and fighting for themselves, essentially, so that Iron Man, very cool, by the way, Iron Man comes with an army. You're not just fighting one Iron Man, you're fighting an arsenal of armors. Pretty awesome. So I think that's probably what they're going to do with Ultron, is they're going to make him actually evolve out of Jarvis. Jarvis will become Ultron. It's my theory anyway, or people's theories online. I didn't invent it, but I've read it, and I think it makes a lot of sense that that's probably the direction that they'll go with the origin for Ultron. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see that creation. Maybe the armors will all be taken over by the AI and will be changed to to look more like Ultron, and he'll, redesign them and that kind of stuff and steal them, and then Tony Stark may be kind of powerless, aside from maybe having like a classic Iron Man suit, or like just one suit of his own that's not controlled by the AI, that's standalone and not connected to the Ultron network. And that villain will sort of evolve out of Iron Man's movie universe into the Avengers. So he'll be sort of responsible in some ways for the creation of this monster, which is going to be extremely difficult for the Avengers to take down. Maybe more fearsome than Loki. Now, granted, Loki did have the Chitauri. He had his own army, so that was cool. The portal, everything like that, the nuke, Iron Man, and how, he got that through, and then the Hulk caught him, and everything like that, and the scene after. That was about as epic as I think you can get. I don't know if you can get any more epic than that. Which begs the question, will the second one? So we know it's going to be Ultron. I think he'll be a good villain. I think by himself, he's probably a more interesting villain than Loki. Well, I don't know if I want to say that, but he should be a nice change from Loki, because he's so different, with that whole AI, artificial intelligence, computer, thing, right? But I think he's more fearsome by himself because he could have an arsenal of armors, creating new ones and creating his own Ultron army and spreading like a virus and things like that. So you got the technology mixed in there as well too. And he wouldn't need an army to come with him. He'd be by himself strong enough to be able to maybe take down the Avengers. Maybe we'll see the Hulkbuster against the Hulk. You know, a Hulkbuster Ultron armor against the Hulk. Be very cool. The Igor from the first one, the blue one, silver and blue, big one. You know, things like that I think could be really, really cool for the third one. Because you got to think that Iron Man maybe has created armors, especially like with Igor, the Hulkbuster, to face the Avengers. So he probably has one like a Thor Buster from the comic books, for example, and others too, right? So if Ultron takes those over, then he would be a really strong threat against the Avengers because he would have, you know, armors that are created already to face certain Avengers. So and take them down. So just predictions, you know, nothing set in stone. I'm just, you know, predicting here, but I think that would be really cool to see, and I think that's probably the direction they're going somewhere in for the Avengers 2. So, Avengers 2 versus Avengers 1, which one do I think is going to be better? It's going to be hard to beat the first one. The first one was so much fun. Like I said, the ending was so epic. Getting to see all these characters meet for the first time on screen and work together and fight together, you know, all in the circle thing. You guys remember that? That was really cool. It's going to be really hard for the second one to surpass that in terms of epicness. So I don't think it'll be more epic, but Ultron as a villain may be more interesting and maybe more deadly. We may see some character deaths because we have a lot of Avengers. You know, you have your team from the first one is all returning as far as we know, including Black Widow and Hawkeye, who I personally thought were not going to return, but we know now they are. Josh Whedon has confirmed that. At least I think it was him. Maybe it was Kevin Feige or whatever his name is, the guy from Marvel. I think that's his name. I could be wrong here, just talking off the top of my head. But yeah, so they'll be returning, and then we're adding on a couple new ones. We're going to get Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. Love it. He's awesome in Kick-Ass. I think he's going to be a great Quicksilver. Big fan of him and his work in Kick-Ass, so can't go wrong with him as Quicksilver in this movie. Plus, he kind of looks like, because he's really skinny, he's really lean, he's got the chin thing. You know, they could cut his hair a certain way to make him look more like Quicksilver. You know, not the curly white man afro, but you know, your cut shorter type thing with the hair streaks or whatever. It looked cool. And then we've got Emily Olsen, is it? Or no, Elizabeth Olsen playing Scarlet Witch. Can't comment on her. Haven't seen anything she's done, but she looks okay. So she looks like Wanda, so that will work too. And that's a lot of Avengers. So I think we could see at least one or two character deaths. In the first one, of course, Agent Coulson, he'll be returning as far as we know. Is he a life model decoy? The TV series tie-in? Is he, for real? Is he Vision? Is he going to be Vision? I'd like to see something like that. I don't know how they're going to work it in because there's so many characters. It's going to be difficult to do that. But I'd like to see Coulson return again. He's a fun character, and he's good in the TV series, I think. He's one of the only good things about that TV series, holding it together, I think. Who knows if the TV series will even be on next year, and if they'll tie it into the Avengers 2 after that. I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But I do think the Avengers 2 has the potential to be even better than the first one because we've got all of these characters, a new cast you're adding on, a great villain, and you're going to get all those people who were interested in the first one, who saw that, they're going to return to see the second one. So it's going to get a huge budget. It's going to get lots of CG, lots of great stuff, and it'll probably look really damn good. Yeah. So in terms of numbers, which do I think will be better? Which one will it's going to be tough to beat the Avengers. Didn't it do over like $1 billion worldwide? But I think it can be done because you've got all those movies out there. People know these characters. They like these characters. If they saw the first one, they probably liked it. I mean, most people liked the first one. So you know what you're getting into. Lots of fun, high action, explosions, popcorn, fun, superhero Marvel team-up movie. I think people will return to see the second one. So those are my thoughts on the Avengers 2, kind of where I think it's going to go, what direction. I think we're going to have, obviously Josh Whedon's returning, so we're going to have the same style, that comedy mixed in with the big theatrical elements and sort of poking fun at itself, which I think we'll see again. more time with amazing characters from comic books. You know, you've got all the cast, everybody. The actors are all returning as far as we know, so it should be lots of fun. There's rumors that maybe Falcon will be in it. These are a lot. There's a lot of characters here, you know, so it's going to be hard for them to split up their time yet again, and even more difficult than the first one because there's so many they're adding on, and there's so many characters overall. It's going to be difficult for each of them to get their own time. So those are pretty much all my thoughts on the Avengers 2. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to do some predictions if you like. Sorry you can't send me a video response anymore. YouTube removed that feature. But if you want to do a video and send it to me, let me know about it. Please feel free to do a video doing some predictions for the Avengers 2. If you just want to comment below and talk about what you think is going to happen in the Avengers 2, whether or not you think it'll be as good as the first one, and what you'd like to see, feel free to do so. Those are my predictions, what I think we're going to see for the Avengers 2. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be amazing, and I think it could even be better than the first one. It has the right mixture, so to speak. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.